Have you ever laid down at night, thinking you'd finally get some rest, only to wake up hours later feeling stiff? Foggy? Like your own bed turned against you? You tell yourself it's just old age, right? Maybe you stretched wrong. Maybe the fan was too cold. Maybe you just didn't sleep long enough. But deep down, a quiet part of you wonders, why do I feel worse after sleeping than I did before closing my eyes? What if I told you, it might not be your mattress? It might not even be your age. It might be the way you sleep that's slowly wearing your body down? I know, it sounds strange, but I want you to picture this. You lie there at night, hoping to rest. But instead of healing, your spine is twisting ever so slightly. Your blood isn't flowing quite right. Your lungs can't expand the way they need to. And your joints? They're crying out for relief, but you don't even notice, because you're asleep. Night after night, it adds up. And by the time morning comes, you're not recharged. You're in pain. You're tired. You're a little weaker than yesterday. Now listen, this isn't to scare you. It's to awaken you. Because sleep should be your medicine, not your slow poison. And here's the truth, after age 60, your sleep habits matter more than ever. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 common sleep habits that can quietly break your body down, especially if you're over 60. One of them is a sleeping position that's been proven to increase stroke risk, strain your joints, and make nighttime breathing more dangerous than you think. But here's the good news. Every single one of these habits can be fixed. And when you fix them, you don't just sleep better, you live better. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, what to change, and how to finally wake up feeling strong again. And hey, before we dive in, let me know in the comments below. Have you ever woken up feeling worse, not better? Just type, "I'm here," if this sounds like your story. And if you're ready to take back your nights, your mornings, and your energy, go ahead and subscribe to Thriving Oldies, where we're growing older with purpose, peace, and power. Now, let's begin. Let's start with one of the most common and most quietly damaging sleep habits out there: sleeping on your stomach. I want you to imagine someone. His name is Sam. Sam's in his early 70s. Still sharp. Still active. And for as long as he could remember, he slept flat on his belly, arms tucked under the pillow, head turned to one side. He used to say it helped his back, that it made him feel grounded. But over the months, something changed. His neck started aching. Nothing too bad at first, just a little stiffness when he'd get out of bed. Then came the shoulder tightness, the mid-back pain, the chest pressure at night that made him toss and turn. Until one morning, Sam woke up dizzy. And when he stood up, the room tilted sideways. That was his warning. See, sleeping on your stomach might feel comforting, but for older adults, it's one of the worst positions you can be in. Because when you lie on your stomach, you're forcing your neck to twist sharply to one side for hours. You're pressing down on your chest and belly, flattening the natural curve of your spine. And worse, you're reducing the space your lungs need to expand freely. For someone in their 20s or 30s, the body might bounce back. But after 60, when bones are more fragile, joints less forgiving, and breathing less efficient, that gentle pressure builds into something dangerous. Over time, stomach sleeping can pinch nerves, weaken posture, and even contribute to low oxygen levels during sleep. Now here's where it gets tricky. Most people don't realize it. They wake up feeling tired or sore or short of breath and just chalk it up to getting older. But the truth is, it's the position, not just the age. And here's the part many get wrong. They think, if I just use a softer mattress or a better pillow, I can still sleep on my stomach comfortably. But that's a myth. Because no matter how comfy it feels, this position fights against your body's design. It works against your spine, your lungs, your blood flow, everything. But the good news? You don't have to flip your whole life upside down overnight. Start with a body pillow. Place it along your side so your body naturally leans into it. This trains you to transition into a side sleeping position, which is not only more natural but far safer for your spine, your breathing, and your heart. And if side sleeping doesn't come easy at first, be patient. Your body's been in a pattern for years. It just needs time to learn a better one. Now, stomach sleeping is bad enough on its own. But what if I told you there's something even more dangerous than how you sleep? Something that's right there in your bedroom, something you might be using every night, thinking it's making you more comfortable, when really, it's hurting you more than helping? Let's talk about that next. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless, even cozy, but could be quietly stealing your sleep from under you. Too many pillows. Let me introduce you to Elsie. Elsie's in her late 60s. A sweet woman, always smiling, loves her garden, loves her grandkids, and like many, she's been dealing with a bit of acid reflux at night. So what did she do? She stacked her pillows, 3, sometimes 4, until she was almost sitting upright in bed. It helped at first. She said the burn in her chest eased, and she could finally drift off. But then came the other changes. Her neck started getting stiff. Her upper back rounded more than usual. She'd find herself looking downward during the day, like her chin was trying to meet her chest. And worst of all, she started waking up with headaches. A foggy feeling, like her brain wasn't getting enough air through the night. And she was right. See, here's the thing. Too many pillows may feel like they're giving you support, but in reality, they can do more harm than good. When your head is elevated too high, especially for hours on end, it forces your neck forward. Your chin starts to tilt down toward your chest. That position pinches your airway, narrows your windpipe, and slows the blood flow to your brain. And when blood and oxygen can't move freely, you feel it. Not just in your sleep, but in your energy, your focus, your balance. And I get it. We're told that adding pillows makes things better. That more softness, more height, more cushioning equals more comfort. But for the aging body, especially one that's already dealing with arthritis, reduced circulation, or sleep apnea, more is not always better. In fact, more often means more strain. So what should you do instead? Keep it simple. Stick to one medium firm pillow, the kind that supports the neck while keeping your head level with your spine. Your goal is what we call neutral alignment, where your ears are in line with your shoulders, your spine isn't bent, and your airway stays open and free. Now, if you do need a bit of elevation for reflux or sinus drainage, don't pile up pillows. Instead, use a wedge-shaped foam support under your upper back and shoulders. That gives you gentle incline without the neck bending forward. Because here's the truth. How your head rests at night shapes everything, from your breathing to your posture, even your heart rate. And it's not just about the body. Sometimes the most dangerous habits are the ones that disrupt the mind. Not with pressure or position, but with noise. Let's move on to something many people do to help them fall asleep, but ends up keeping their brain awake all night long. Now here's a habit that feels so normal, so harmless, that most folks don't even question it. Falling asleep with the TV on. Let me tell you about George. George was a retired bus driver. Lived alone, liked routine, and every night, he'd switch on the news or an old western, or sometimes just the Weather Channel, just to have some background noise. He said it helped him feel less lonely. He couldn't fall asleep in silence. It made the room feel empty. So he'd drift off to that soft flicker of light, voices in the background. And at first, it seemed innocent. But over the weeks, something changed. George started waking up 2-3 times a night. He couldn't remember small things, like where he left his keys, or what he had for lunch. He was groggy in the mornings, slower to move, slower to think. His family thought it was just aging. But really? It was his TV. See, even though George's eyes were closed, his brain never stopped listening. And here's what many people don't realize. That blue light from the screen, it tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. It blocks melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall and stay asleep. And those voices? That music? That constant background hum? Keeps your brain on alert mode, ready to process, ready to respond. Even when you're unconscious, your brain is trying to make sense of the noise. So instead of sinking into deep, healing sleep, your brain stays in the shallow end, floating, fragmented, never fully resting. And over time, this kind of sleep ages the brain faster. It's been linked to memory issues, mood swings, and even early cognitive decline. Now, the big misconception here is this: I'm asleep, so the TV isn't bothering me. But trust me, your body might be still, but your brain is still working. It's like trying to rest while someone's whispering in your ear all night. You may not hear every word, but your mind stays on edge. So what's the better option? If you need sound to fall asleep, try a white noise machine. Or soft nature sounds, like rain or a gentle breeze through trees. Use a sleep timer so it fades out after you're asleep. And most importantly, turn off screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Let your brain unwind without distraction. Because here's the truth: the silence you're avoiding? That silence is where your brain heals. But sometimes it's not the light or the noise. Sometimes the real problem is what you're lying on. Let's talk about your mattress. Because what's under your body might be doing more damage than you think. Now, let's shift to something you might never think twice about, until your body starts whispering in the early hours. Your mattress. Let me introduce you to Edna. Edna's 74. A proud woman. Raised 5 kids, worked the same job for over 30 years, and still insists on doing her own laundry. And for the past 20 years, Edna's slept on the very same mattress she bought when her youngest child left home. They don't make them like they used to, she'd chuckle, patting the bed proudly. But over time, something started to change. She'd wake up feeling sore, especially in her lower back and hips. Some mornings, it felt like she was walking sideways. Her knees ached, her shoulders pinched, and yet, she never once blamed the mattress. Because it still looked fine. No obvious holes. No broken springs. Still soft. Still hers. But here's the truth that no one told Edna. Even if a mattress looks okay, after years of nightly use, it can quietly lose its support, especially right where your body needs it most. See, as we age, our joints become more sensitive. The cartilage wears thinner. The circulation to our extremities slows down. And when you're lying on an old, sagging mattress, one that no longer holds your hips or aligns your spine, you're putting your body under pressure for hours every night. That sag in the middle? It causes your spine to sink into unnatural curves, which leads to nerve irritation, muscle stiffness, and even reduced blood flow to the legs and arms. And here's the big misconception. People assume memory foam or fancy mattresses last forever. They don't. Even the best ones break down after 8 to 10 years, especially when used daily. And for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or 80s, that difference in support can mean the difference between a good day and one filled with pain. But the good news is, you don't always need to replace the whole thing. Start by evaluating your mattress. Is there a dip where you sleep? Do you feel supported when you lie down? Are you waking up with pain you didn't go to bed with? If so, try rotating the mattress. Or add a high-density foam topper, just a couple of inches thick, to restore support and take pressure off your joints. And when you do replace it, look for medium-firm support. Not too hard, not too soft. Something that holds your spine in natural alignment while relieving pressure on the shoulders, hips, and knees. Because your mattress isn't just where you sleep. It's where your body heals. Or slowly breaks down, if you're not careful. But now, we've come to the last habit. And this one? It's quiet, it's subtle, and it's the most dangerous of all. Because it disguises itself as the right way to sleep. Let's talk about the deadliest sleeping position for people over 60 and why you should reconsider it tonight. Now let's talk about the 5th and final habit. The one that hides behind a reputation for being good posture, but can quietly turn sleep into a slow risk. Sleeping flat on your back with your legs straight. Let me tell you about Joseph. Joseph was a military man. Structured, disciplined, even in sleep. For years, he prided himself on sleeping flat on his back, arms at his sides, legs stretched out like a soldier at attention. He'd read somewhere that it was the best position for spine health, and for a while it seemed to serve him well. But then the warnings started. He began waking up with a racing heart, sometimes short of breath, and at one point, he fainted on the way to the bathroom in the early morning hours. Doctors ran tests, blood pressure, heart rhythm, oxygen levels. And do you know what they told him? Your sleeping posture is triggering poor circulation. See, sleeping on your back isn't bad in itself, but for older adults, how you do it makes all the difference. When you lie flat on your back with your legs completely straight, the blood in your lower body can begin to pool. This reduces circulation back to the heart and can increase pressure in the veins, particularly in the legs and feet. Not to mention, it exacerbates sleep apnea and can cause the tongue to fall backward, blocking the airway during the night. And that snoring you think is harmless? That may be your body struggling to get air, a series of tiny oxygen drops that, over time, place stress on the heart and brain. Here's the biggest myth. We're told that back sleeping is ideal for spinal alignment. And in theory, it can be. But without proper support, especially under the knees, that ideal posture quickly turns into circulatory strain, breathing difficulties, and nerve pressure. So what's the fix? It's simple. Place a small pillow or rolled towel under your knees. This slight elevation takes pressure off your lower back, improves blood flow, and keeps your spine in a natural curve. Even better? Try side sleeping with a pillow between your legs. This position not only supports circulation but also reduces airway collapse, making it especially helpful if you deal with snoring or breathing issues. You don't have to fight your body to sleep well. You just have to give it the right support. A gentle bend in the knees, a turn to the side, a pillow in the right place. These are small things, tiny adjustments. But when done consistently, they can transform the way you sleep and how you feel every single day. Because here's the truth. Sleep is not just rest, it's repair. And when these tiny decisions build up over months and years, they don't just affect your nights. They affect how you age, how you move, how you think, how you live. Now, let's pause for a moment. Not just to think, but to feel. Because what we've been talking about isn't just posture, or pillows, or mattresses. It's about something much deeper. It's about how we care for ourselves when no one's watching. How we treat the body that's carried us through a lifetime of laughter, hardship, love, and loss. And if you've ever watched someone you love, your mother, your husband, your sister, maybe even yourself, wake up tired, stiff, irritable, in pain, it's easy to say, well, they're getting older. But you and I both know that's not the full story. Because these tiny sleep habits, they chip away at us, slowly, quietly, night after night. They steal our energy, they cloud our minds, and over time, they take something we can't get back, time itself. But here's where everything changes. You don't need fear. You need clarity. You don't need to feel helpless. You just need awareness. Because sleep, when done right, is not just the end of your day. It's the beginning of your healing. So let's reframe how we think about it. Let's stop seeing sleep as just a break and start seeing it as a gift we give ourselves. These habits we've explored today, they're not here to scare you. They're here to empower you, to give you back the control that aging sometimes tries to steal. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Start tonight. Maybe it's as simple as removing that second pillow, or turning the TV off just 30 minutes earlier, or having an honest talk with your spouse about the old mattress you've been clinging to for far too long. Maybe it's telling your grown kids, I want to feel better when I wake up. Help me do that. Whatever it is, start small. Because small changes, repeated with care, turn into powerful routines. And those routines? They shape how you age. And more importantly, how you feel while aging. And here's what I want you to hold on to. It's not too late. You're not too far gone. You're not being silly for wanting to feel better. You deserve to wake up refreshed. You deserve nights that restore you. You deserve mornings filled with peace, not pain. Sleep doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be your ally, your healer, your quiet comfort in the night. You just have to give it the right tools. And those tools are now in your hands. Let's take a moment to gently recap what we've uncovered today, because even the smallest realization can lead to the biggest changes. We talked about 5 common sleep habits and how they quietly wear down the body, especially after 60. Sleeping on your stomach, which compresses your lungs, twists your neck, and slowly steals your breath. Using too many pillows, which may feel comforting but can block your airway, strain your neck, and leave you feeling groggy. Falling asleep with the TV on, which keeps your brain on edge, interrupting your healing and inviting cognitive decline. Lying on an old or sagging mattress, which stops supporting your joints and spine, turning rest into pressure and pain. And lastly, sleeping flat on your back with straight legs, which might look like good posture but can disrupt circulation, worsen sleep apnea, and tax your heart. These habits don't scream. They whisper. And over time, their quiet damage becomes loud in the body. But here's the most beautiful part. You can begin again, tonight. That's why I'd love to hear from you now. Which of these habits do you or someone you love struggle with? Have you noticed a change in how you sleep or how you feel when you wake up? Drop your experience in the comments, even if it's one small thing, because chances are your story will help someone else feel seen too. I read every single one. And if this video opened your eyes or gave you something to think about, please go ahead and tap the like button. It lets me know that these messages are helping someone, maybe someone just like you. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to Thriving Oldies. This is a space where aging isn't about decline. It's about renewal, about strength, clarity, peace, and simple daily choices that help you feel alive, not just getting by. So thank you for being here, for giving yourself this time, for caring about your body, your rest, your future. You're not past your prime. You're not alone. You're just getting started. Sleep well, heal well, and as always, stay thriving.